SCWDB, our VP of Communications, who normally runs these meetings. And it's been about 1.5 years since I have done one, so I'm gonna give it a shot again and dust off my presentation. I got a new one here in Canva I had to make actually, but I want to just start by saying we'll introduce ourselves and we'll let everybody share topics or announcements, not topics, announcements and events that you have. And then we'll jump into our topic, and we do want it to be highly interactive and you guys unmuted and even on video for those of you guys, most of you guys are joining by video. So let's just go ahead and introduce ourselves. Why did that say? Oh, hit close. Yeah, don't let that turn off. All right.
I'll go first. I'm Joda Johnson. Let me turn on my camera. Sorry. I am Joda Johnson. I am the director of SCWDB Adult Education, where we do GED, ESL, workforce. We do digital literacy. We do a little bit of everything. Just it's good to see everybody today.
Yay, Dr. Joda.
See you. All right, who's going next? No, I know you don't.
I can go next. Can you hear me? Can you all hear me?
Yes, we can. Go ahead.
Okay. My camera is not working, but I was just making sure my mic was. This is Nikki from
Okay, who do we have?
This is Nikki from SCWDB. I work in the admissions department of SCWDB, but I focus on helping adults get back into school. And as far as events, we do have an event coming up on March, let me give you the correct date, March 19th. It'll be from 4 to 6:30. We will probably revisit that again, but it's an open house style event so that people can come see all the programs that we offer, get help with financial aid and things like that. This is our 3rd year doing this event, so it's a pretty good event. We give away a lot of promo and seem to have a good turnout, and we hear really good things from the people that did come.
Is that so? You said 4 to 6:30 on the 19th.
March 19th, 4 to 6:30. Yes, and it'll be in the Welcome Center.
I'm sorry. Where did you say it is?
It'll be on main campus in the Welcome Center.
Rhonda can hear. Our audio's cutting out. I'm so sorry, Nikki.
You're okay. Can you hear me?
Yes.
It'll be on main campus in the Welcome Center.
Okay. Great. Who's going next?
I'll go next. Priscilla Schwartz with Passport by Molina Healthcare, one of the MCOs. And we have lots of April, and I will be sending out that flyer later this week.
Okay. Great. Next.
Frank Garibaldi, the one-stop operator. Priscilla, when you send it to me, I'll send it out to the community partners.
I guess I'll go next. I'm Tony Palmer. I work with Career Team. Sorry, my video's not working. Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Frank, did I cut you off? I'm sorry. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't mean to cut Frank off. I'm sorry if I did. I can barely hear on here. But I work with Career Team. We help eliminate barriers to employment. Things like work clothing, if a participant needs it, work boots, attire, and stuff of that nature. We also help with training services for those who are eligible. But yes, so if you guys ever need anything, just reach out and we go from there.
Great.
I told her you would probably call her pretty quickly.
All right, who's next?
I'm Alexa Goodwin. I am with United Way of Southern Kentucky, and I'm a Connect Resource Specialist here. And my focus in that role is to increase awareness regarding Connect resources and encourage engagement in learning and bridge the gap in connecting local resources and support services within the area. And we also handle 211, which is our information referral helpline.
Yes, glad to have you. All right, we got several more. Who's up next?
Yeah, let me go ahead and jump in there as well. I'm Barrett Wright. I'm a Connect Resource Specialist. Me and Alexa, the person you just heard from, we do the same job. So what she said.
Great.
All right, glad to be here.
Yeah, glad to have you.
My name's Dan Basta. I work with Western Kentucky's Continuing Professional Development. I've worked with some of y'all before. We help people on the non-credit side. So we handle certifications, upskilling, a lot of programs. So we do work with Voc Rehab. We work with the Kentucky Career Center. We work with Army Ignited to help soldiers as well. We also, our team has dipped into working and hosting summer camps for middle and high school students. And we have a lot of those camps launching pretty soon. And they are camps basically related to careers and things related to like the WKU itself. So we have a criminal justice camp hosted by the criminal justice team in that department. We have Camp Care, which is hosted by many in the College of Health and Human Services. So that's kind of what we do. And if you have any questions for me, just let me know. Thanks.
When do you think those signups will be live online, Dan?
That's a great question. So I will share in the chat a link to our summer camps page. Some are already live, and others, we're hoping to have all of them launched by the end of this month. So I will actually put our summer camp site in there. The ones that are open right now, we have a Python coding camp, 2 different Python coding camps. Criminal justice is already live. Personal finance camp is actually going to launch probably in the next 2 weeks, as will Camp Care. And then we've got a bunch of things. We also do some ACT and SAT prep as well. But I'll put our summer camps page in the chat.
Great, thank you.
Thanks for asking. Yeah, of course.
Good morning. I'm Roxana Miracle. I'm with the Office of Vocational Rehabilitation, and we work with adults with disabilities and barriers to employment. So we try to assist with training, upskilling, basically to help people obtain or maintain employment. And right now we are still in our order of selection due to funding, but we're still encouraging everybody to go ahead and apply. Let us get your eligibility done and get you on the waiting list so that as soon as we get funding, we would be able to help you and assist you with obtaining your goal.
Amy Smith Thomas here, Butler County Adult Ed, Butler County Jail, Kentucky Christian Recovery, and also help with workforce and college entrance with Nikki and Brittany and Shannon and that crew. So sorry if I'm turning my head a lot. I'm not used to working from home, and I've got my dogs outside, so I'm trying to make sure I take care of my babies while I'm on this meeting. So glad to see you all.
Yes. Thank you, Amy. Who's up next?
I'll go. Chad Spencer, Regional Director, Career Services, Goodwill, Kentucky. Well, again, just like some of the others, we address barriers to employment, assisting folks looking for self-sufficient full-time employment, and we utilize the stores to relieve some of those financial burdens for people. Just here to assist and help where we can.
He's coming to us from the parking lot of the Goodwill Mall, it looks like.
Was I echoing really bad?
No, I'm saying you're coming to us from the Goodwill Mall at the parking lot.
That's yeah. That's the one we're gonna mimic here in the next few months when we do our build out. It's not gonna be the Taj Mahal look, but it's really gonna be nicer than what we have now.
Looks like it's gonna have a Starbucks and like a grocery store and all that inside of it. Goodness, yeah, public.
It would be 7 Brew, not Starbucks.
Okay. All right, next.
I guess I'll go next. I'm Denise McDonald with Logan County Good Samaritan, and I'm a little bit different. I'm more of a benevolent organization, but I do a lot of referring to everyone else on here. So we do taxes, we're a food bank, we do financial assistance. So we do a lot of different things, but we do try to keep up with you guys and use you as much as we can. And hopefully I'll learn a little bit more about how to keep up with people in here.
Yeah, excellent. Always good to see you, Denise. Thank you. All right, we got a few more virtual people and then we'll go around the horn with who's in the room here, who has not gone yet online.
I can go. So hi, my name is Chloe Huntsman. I am the Community Outreach Coordinator for Hope Harbor. Hope Harbor is our region's sexual trauma recovery center. So we do totally free services for, we offer a 24/7 hotline. We do emergency advocacy, so we respond to the emergency room. We also offer free counseling, and we do free legal advocacy as well for victims, for survivors of sexual violence. So yeah.
Glad to have you.
I am Brittany Estes. I'm the program project coordinator at Hart County.
Okay, glad to have you.
I'll jump on here. I'm Aaron Sullivan with Great Honest Job Corps. I'm the work program officer. We're a job corps that actually specializes in the construction trades. We've got a lot of good things going on. Got a lot of good people working out there in local industry around Bowling Green, Glasgow, Eaton, Louisville. We've been heavy affiliated with a lot of the unions around here lately, and we're really bridging the gap to the workforce. Job Corps really took a lot of new changes here in the last couple of years, so we're implementing them full speed around here, and happy to be here.
Yeah, and might I add, Aaron, that they have funded you guys now, so the funding package has gone through. They funded the workforce, they funded Job Corps at level funding, so we ride another day.
Absolutely.
All right, glad to have you. Someone else.
Hi, I'm Sheila Sanders. I'm the service coordinator for Hope Harbor. I work along with Chloe, and we're the sexual assault and trauma center for this area.
Okay. Yeah, glad to have Hope Harbor folks. Okay, and I think there's okay, nope, I know who's going next.
I'll go. Good morning. To my friends, I see a lot of familiar faces on the meeting today. So I am TJ Shockley Hunt, and I'm with SCWDB Workforce Solutions. So we do a lot of training for area employers throughout the 10-county area, 10-county Brad area, but we also work with a lot of nonprofits to provide training and upskill individuals for employment. So we also are involved with the reentry boot camps in connection with and in partnership with the Workforce Board / My Workforce Future. And I did want to share a couple of things with you guys as far as what we have going on right now. We have scheduled a forklift training. This is in-person forklift. There's some lecture portion and then hands-on portion with the actual forklift. Those will begin pretty much monthly, starting in the month of March. So the first one will be 310 and 311. And then we also have a CPR first aid open enrollment scheduled for 317 at our Franklin campus. So we also have some I'm using my cheat sheet over here on the other screen. So sorry if I keep looking down. We also have some Microsoft Office, some Microsoft Excel classes scheduled and open enrollment as well. And then we recently launched a new LMS system called Ed2Go. And there are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of topics and online training and some certifications that can be obtained through Workforce Solutions here. And so I know, Brian, that Amy Talicki was trying to get a meeting scheduled with Ed2Go and with career team, and I don't think that ever made. So I love to see that happen.
Yeah.
Because I do know that some of those, that it could be, some of that could be real eligible. So if you could help me do that, that would be great.
Okay.
But yes, so contact me and I'll be happy to connect you and assist you, with any training needs that you may have for your participants, open enrollment and otherwise. So.
Okay. And I think we just have Michael left online to introduce himself. Looks like you might be trying to hit the unmute button there. I've been eating dry candy or something. Thank you.
I'm Michael Ford with Kentucky Christian Recovery. I'm a director of missions and outpatient planning. We're here to get some more information about programs that are available to help our clientele as they leave here, moving back into the workforce and normal everyday living. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, glad to have you. All right, we'll go around with those that are in the room. We'll start with Jessica. You may need to come on video there just so they can see real quick on that laptop with the Zoom controls.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, I'm Jessica Calvert. I'm a regional WIOA quality assurance coordinator for Cumberlands and South Central.
I'm Laura Torres, and I work with the Ready Set Hire program. We work with area youth within the 10 counties that are 16 to 24 years of age, and we assist them with employment preparation.
Shannon Gotke with Ready Set Hire.
My name is Alexa Hatcher, and I work specifically with immigrants and refugees to help people to find jobs.
I'm Isabawa. I work as refugee. So I work with refugee and immigrant to connect them to school so they can get like credentials in short-term training like CNA, phlebotomy, welding, that kind of thing. Thank you.
Oh, okay. Kelly Richards, I work with Renee with the Reach Hire program.
Hey everybody, Renee Covington, Reach Hire at the Housing Authority of Bowling Green job training program, and then of course we provide housing and credit counseling and home ownership. We're building a new subdivision, so if you know anyone who fits our criteria, definitely send them a referral over. We just try to do what we can for the community. Nice to see everybody again.
Yeah, so glad to have you all. All right, that takes, usually 15, 20 minutes just to introduce ourselves. So we'll talk about some of that here today. I do want to emphasize that, well, we've already covered the news. Today, our topic is accessing workforce services, like what that looks like today. So this community partnership team started, believe it or not, because I was at the beginning of it. Renee, I know, was at the beginning of it, and several of us, and several of you all joining virtually were at the very, very beginning of it. So we're getting up there in years, but it was formulated to share resources and plug people into the workforce system. And we've primarily focused on having agencies that do some element of workforce services, but we're always open to people that don't do that to hear about the services that are available, because we want to talk about the good, the bad, the ugly on how you find this information out. But there's been a lot of staff turnover in all of our organizations over the years. So even if somebody was riding with us for 5 years, knew all this stuff and has now left, and maybe you don't know that, we want you to know how to plug in and connect. And we want to hear your feedback on how we can make this stuff easier for everybody to find and get a hold of. So like I said at the beginning, we are looking for this to be highly interactive. And I'm not planning on doing much talking, but I will try to guide the discussion and hopefully have lots of prompts to get you guys talking. So let's talk about getting somebody from here to there, right? Whatever there is and wherever here is at the moment. I do want to ask, how do you know how to do that? But maybe a nice way to get us talking is, who do you turn to when you don't know who else to contact? Like, who is a human being that you will pick up the phone, you will email, you will text, you will reach out to when you don't know who else to go talk to? Go.
That's a good question.
I always go to Shannon.
I figured Shannon's name had come up a few times.
Me too, Denise, me too.
I'm either Shannon or Brian. Yeah.
All right, who else? And feel free to use the chat too. We can see the chat stuff coming in.
I've been known to call John.
Okay, John, who is the Workforce Board Director, President, CEO?
Yes.
Yes, okay.
And Amy Smith Thomas.
I called Brian Becker.
Watch out, that might be dangerous information you get.
Who's that guy?
I second Amy's really awesome.
Great.
Thanks. Y'all are too.
Yeah, I call a lot of these people, Amy, Denise, Tony Palmer, because of WIOA, Frank, Priscilla. I mean, I've got a whole, yeah.
Yeah, Michael says Shannon and Brittany and Amy. But
Yep.
Brittany Hippler, she's not in the room with us, and I don't think she's still in online. She's running a meeting right now. And I did check with her because there will be a part where we would like her to talk or explain, but yeah, she works a lot with our justice involved population in the region. And I do want to say, we emphasize on just like our logo, it's the 10 county Brad area. So we're not trying to solve problems everywhere, but we are trying to solve them in the 10 counties of the Brad region. So all the answers that you can give, I mean, if you know somebody in Frankfurt or Louisville, that's great, but we want to know locally who we can turn to. So, okay. So let's play Guess Who. Anybody played this game in a while? I have not.
Yeah.
But there's not right or wrong answers on this, but it is just to kind of, like, this thing's not going to be like flipping around and show a face. I wish I could do that. That would take me a lot longer to build this presentation. So let's just go through some scenarios and here's some answers here. So who should be contacted when somebody needs to earn a GED?
Joda.
Joda. Why Joda?
Well, because when you left, I got Joda. But she's always very, very helpful. And if she doesn't have time for me right there, she'll let me know what staff member I need to speak to. And it helps speed the process of getting participants enrolled in the GED process.
Okay.
I think because I'm in all the counties, I call adult ed in whichever county.
Adult ed in whichever county.
Mhm.
Okay.
A lot of times I'm talking with Rebecca Watkins because a lot of the people who I might refer to SCWDB also for a GED might also first need to learn some English.
So everybody that knows, because some people are like 2 counties, 3 counties away, who is Rebecca Watkins?
Rebecca Watkins also works at SCWDB as a ESL teacher, and like all of y'all does a whole bunch of other things too.
Yep. Great. So can do we all agree that the local adult education program is sort of the answer here? Anybody have a different answer than adult education?
Well,
Okay.
Maybe Amy?
Can't think of the name of it. It's the church over there beside the school where I'm at. They do the GED plus the ESL and GED too. I can't say it.
Okay. Yeah.
South Central Literacy Council in Franklin. They do
Yes.
GED.
Yes. So has anybody talked to the Franklin Simpson Literacy Council recently?
I have a person placed there, who retired.
Oh, nice. Well, their building's for sale, so we weren't sure if they just moved or if they already have, or.
Well, we just talked to her yesterday via email, and they are researching new funding and everything.
They're looking for a new place.
So they're just
trying
looking
to
for a new
downsize
place.
a little
I
bit.
gotcha. Okay.
They are doing a lot of remote right now during the day, so if you are gonna go by, you probably need to send her an email.
Yeah.
To let them know that you're gonna come by to somebody in the office.
Okay.
And they do go off the school schedule. And if it's a snow day, they're closed.
Okay, so let me throw a bone to the adult ed people, and it doesn't matter which one who's on here will answer it, but do you have to come in person for GED classes to make progress on passing the GED?
I think it depends on what county you're in and what program you're in, but the state of Kentucky also has a program that we can put people in through Goodwill, through us. It did start for Goodwill employees, but now they have opened it up to the entire state. And so each program has the option to put students who cannot make it to your program if you do not have an online program in there. But I do think that we have to weigh other things. And so we don't just tell everybody that it's an option, but we first see what your test scores are, because we don't want to put people at a disadvantage either, or a handicap by putting them online on something they can't do. So each program weighs the student to see, and then we look at what all, the student is capable of, and then we do that. But we do have Goodwill employees that are in that program right now, and then we have people that are in our local program that are in that program right now who are either home with their children or who just can't come, or we have people who have illnesses or for some reason that they can't come. And so for whatever reason that is, we are able to put them in the state program, but we also have a program that Brook and Dynasty are teachers in who do online GED also.
Okay. All right, here's another scenario. Thank you, Joda. If my clicker will work. Stable housing. Who should be contacted?
Renee.
She got to flip that back on you, Renee.
If you're looking for Renee's not that person at the housing authority, but she would definitely get you connected to the right person.
And I do have a listing of like all subsidized housing for Warren County, and HUD's website, you can get it for whatever county you're in, because it's always encouraging to tell them to get on every housing list, because they're all going to move at a different pace to see who will come up first. And definitely, of course, contact Don Duval or Katie Miller, but different qualifying events will move them up on the listing, such as if they're domestic violence or things like that too, homelessness and things like that.
Okay, so that's a very Bowling Green answer. Who else that maybe is not in Bowling Green?
I was gonna say contact 211 for other stable housing options as well.
Yes, absolutely. Anybody else got a go-to on stable housing?
I wanted to speak to Ms. Shockley's comment about 211. The truth is, all of these questions, if they're in this kind of format, you can call 211 to find that information about every single question that you might ask. So just that could be an answer, but I know you're looking for specific answers, but I just want to put that out there. Thank you.
Yeah, no, it's a resource. Okay, how about an ID? Client needs an ID. Where do you go? Besides God, yes. So God cannot be the answer to these questions.
We can get them in right now.
Brittany Hippler.
Brittany Hippler? Why Brittany Hippler?
Because PKF, they help people get, and it's not just PKF, they don't just have to be a reentry person. They can help you get an ID if you can't afford one. They can help you get an ID if you're having trouble. They can help you work through those barriers to getting one.
And what organization is she with?
Yeah, so we got to explain the acronyms because again, not everybody knows these. So PKF, what's that stand for?
Putting Kentuckians first.
Yep. Now I'm telling you, I'm gonna make you guys do the talking today. I'm not gonna give all the answers to these things. So Putting Kentuckians First, I will add, is a Kentucky adult education program. And we are very closely aligned with it too. So they're considered employees of ours, but the funding comes from adult ed and they work very, very closely with the adult eds. And we'll talk about that a little bit more here in a minute. Okay. Record expungement. What happens if the client needs that?
Goodwill. Yeah.
March 9th, 2026. There will be a Goodwill clinic for expungements.
You got the flyer for that already, Chad?
I'll have it in the next probably week.
Okay.
Priscilla also, she does a lot of them too.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Yep.
Kentucky Legal Aid as well for other questions.
So, all right, before I say presentation. I brought these things up because I have not asked for a job yet, but why do these matter when we're talking about employment services?
These are the barriers usually to employment.
Do these pretty much 100% of the time hold somebody back?
Yes, roadblocks.
Yeah. All All right, so let's talk about a resume now. Now we are talking about a very specific employment service. Who can do a resume that exists in the region?
Career Team, Goodwill, Career Center, and then a lot of other providers as well. So I know Amy Thomas Smith helps down there with resume. Just pretty much probably all the providers on the call can help with a resume too. They help their individual clients.
Thank you, TJ. And Shannon's a big help too as well.
Yes.
With
That's what I was
when
gonna
we get
say.
crazy, when we get crazy busy on those first Tuesdays of the month, TJ's been there. She sees how busy we are on those days, and Shannon helps us out a lot with those too.
Yes.
I received a text message yesterday from a young man that had gotten interview prep from Shannon. I mean, resume work from Shannon before, and he's looking to reach out to her again.
He already has. We have been, he was my very first.
There you go, Chad. There you go.
He was my very first communication this morning and my last one yesterday.
Oh, cool.
And I will say, I had been trying to work with him, and I was unsuccessful, but he got with Shannon, and probably 2 weeks later, he was employed. So now he's looking for a coaching job, and he said, "Do you think she could help me with a coaching resume?" I'm like, she could pretty much do that for you. So yeah, Shannon is a resume guru.
We're working on it.
Awesome. All right, how about if somebody wanted to explore college program options? They're thinking about going to college, post-secondary.
Nikki Holtzgraver.
Nikki.
Yeah.
Nikki.
If that person is a refugee and has been here less than 5 years, then ESA.
Yes.
He's all the way in the back, so for those of you guys that can see the room.
Hey, Brian, can I interrupt real quick? I like what Michael said in the chat about for individuals who are seeking transitional or sober living. That was not something we talked about in stable housing, but
yes,
we all know. I just wanted to bring that to everybody's attention that we didn't discuss it, but great options throughout the region.
Yeah, I agree with TJ. KCR is good. Michael does a good job there.
Yes.
Thanks, TJ.
A lot of times I'll reach out to the TRIO departments at WKU and at Sky.
I mean, you guys familiar with TRIO? Is anybody not familiar with TRIO? That might be a better question. Anybody not know what TRIO is or does?
TRIO, EOC.
Yeah, that's sometimes the EOC, they go, but yeah, I think they're under the Educational Opportunity Center.
Yeah.
If you don't know, we wanna make you aware. If they're not partial to one, even though one's on one campus and one's on another college campus, they can help any. Are they contained to Kentucky? Is that pretty much where their focus is, or can they even do non-Kentucky?
I'm not sure.
I think it's any school.
Any school?
I do
Yeah.
know that they can do it.
I'm gonna say they won't turn anybody away.
Yes, that sounds right. And they're usually very active with tables at a lot of community events and things like that, so. I don't like to give people wku.edu or southcentral.kctcs.edu as a place to start. I like to give them TRIO because that will be a person.
Absolutely.
That they can talk to, and they will know all of the things on those websites and all of the processes that those colleges use, as well as all the other ones, so shoot somebody straight. Okay, I got one final one. What about support for their disability? Who should be contacted?
I think it depends on the need, with their type of need, what kind of support they need. That's going to depend on the provider. It could be OER, it could be Goodwill, it could be, it just really depends on what kind of support they're needing.
Yeah. All right. You have I could pay you, TJ. You just set up my next screen. Why is it depends often the first answer when we say where do I take this client?
Eligibility.
Alexa said eligibility.
Everything's case specific for the client. It depends on sometimes age, sometimes, what the barrier is specifically.
Yeah.
Accessibility.
Yes. I think, I'm old, Brian. I remember when we started this group because I was part of that, right? And I say I'm part of the furniture, but I've always said, and I've trained a lot of folks, a lot of coaches, a lot of staff, but to me, it's like all of our people, all of our individuals in our communities, many of them have so many barriers. And so it's almost like peeling an onion when you sit down and as a provider and talk to those folks, because they don't have one issue, they got 50. And so determining, sitting across from them, what are their needs first? That's going to depend on who I refer to, right? Because yes, they need their GED, and yes, that should be a priority. But the big priority is they don't have food today, and they're living in their car, they're on the street, living in a sleeping bag somewhere. So my first priority would be trying to get housing, right? At the same time trying to maybe work on some employment so that they can maintain that housing. So it really does depend. But it's really getting to the bottom as a provider sitting across from someone what their greatest need is first. And sometimes it's working on multiple issues at one time that are the most pressing.
Did it freeze up for? Okay, that one's not frozen up. I think my computer's frozen up. Can you guys hear me? Yeah, okay, sorry. We're having technical issues with our audio on my computer that everybody in the room can hear from, so. Let me move to, okay, so yeah, one thing is the funding, right? How organizations are funded. WIOA, the Workforce Opportunity and Innovation Act, legislates us into a telephone booth. Like we are like so finite and how people are eligible and who can get it, and they don't want to, I mean, it's all to avoid wasteful spending, right? But then there's so many other organizations. So we put this map together a while back just to kind of like, here's like who employers could access for talent for employees, right? So you go around this wheel, there are organizations that support people with disabilities. There are ones that work with justice involved populations. There's, industry associations, the technical colleges, ones that work with immigrants and refugees, adult education, even staffing agencies. I did not ask the question, but if somebody needed a job today, that is often the answer, is the staffing agency, because none of the rest of us, number one, usually have that kind of access to an immediate job. We may know about openings, but it moves at the speed of the company. Staffing agencies, they got orders they got to fill today, and get people in. And so, anyway, there's just, again, ones that support veterans. Sometimes it's just by that population and criteria that are going on with that person's background or current situation. And then there's the ones that just kind of serve everybody. So it's all over the place. I wanted to spend just a moment talking about like the structure of the Brad region workforce system, because you all are a part of it in many ways. But as far as how it's like publicly funded, at the education and cabinet level, they give money to 10 workforce boards and oversee the parts of them across parts of the board across the state. Again, with I call it the bat signal that we have in the Brad area. That's what we're responsible for. We subcontract services that we get from the money from them to give to career team. Tony on the call is with, and they can pay for somebody to go through training. They could pay to maybe get them work boots or attire. They can also get them connected to some internship opportunities that they would be the employer, and somebody would be able to intern for an employer and be on a trial basis. And then there's just all kinds of other things that we get into with them. The Kentucky Career Center, that banner has basically three main things under it. It has the career development office. That's where you come in, just like, hey, I need a resume, and they'd be able to help you or put you on a program, help look for jobs and things like that. The unemployment insurance office, which there are no staff that you can talk to at our local Kentucky Career Center. They all work remote, and it's extremely frustrating, and the state puts out a phone number and a hotline, and nobody seems to ever get through. But they usually can talk to people at the career development office who are working in that building, which is located in downtown Bowling Green, and get maybe sometimes their questions answered, but usually they're told to go back online or go to the phone to try to get it resolved. And then vocational rehabilitation, which in our region, they are in different locations than the career development office and unemployment insurance office are. So we have one in Bowling Green that's on Fairview, and then we have one in Glasgow at the Kentucky Career Center there. And then there's Kentucky Adult Education. So we are all funded under that education and labor cabinet. And I don't even know how many staff we all have, but I know it's in the dozens, if not well over 100 that are involved, especially with what Voc Rehab has on staff and the adult education providers have. Our board, we have about 5 main WIOA funded staff and then 5 other kind of grant funded staff, and career team has, I think, 8 staff right now and they've been maintaining. So we're about 18 of those. So that's, again, the main ones that you're going to see that kind of to simplify in our 10 counties is represent those entities right there. And that's the logos for each of them. So, all right, so let's talk about how we keep things straight, which is kind of, it's a giant moving bowl of spaghetti, right? How do you untangle that? Some of this has already been shared. Some of you guys have already provided the resources and the people and things like that, but I wanted to have a discussion about it. So let's talk about, if you don't know a person, where can you go find this info and where it might be posted already? Some of these, again, have already been mentioned. So there are online resource guides, and these are great because print goes out of date about as soon as the day you print it. Even as much hard work as it takes to compile those resources and pass out flyers or brochures, especially if you put a staff member name on it and then they leave. That's hard, and that's how it was done for a long time. Those of us that have worked in nonprofit for a long time, but these online resource guides are great. 211, they're a phone number. They're about the only phone number for a resource guide that you can go to, besides if you're about to make your backyard explode or you need to call the police. But 211 is done in that same emergency style manner of being established that it's easy and quick to get to, but they do have an online version of that. Anybody use the online version to go to, or do you lean on the phone? And you can unmute to answer. Again, interaction.
I have both texted that number and done the online version, so both of those are really great.
Great. So the texting, can you talk about how that works for somebody that's not used it before? I'm curious. Do you just, is it a separate number, or do you just text 211?
It's the same number, I believe. I mean, I feel weird talking about it when the people who like are more familiar with it are on the.
Well, you're a user, so you got a good experience.
Fair.
Yeah.
I mean, so when I have done it, I have just texted them, and then they will ask you what kind of like thing you are looking for, and then you can. They will basically, you'll tell them what you're looking for, and then they'll send back like several different options, and then ask if that's something that has helped. So it's not, I don't think it's specific necessarily as the website, because in the website you can really like get in with specific details about like if you're homeless or if you are like if you're looking for like a job or something like that. You can like very specifically hone in like details about yourself if you're a refugee or whatnot. So that one, I think the website is very specific and very helpful. But I did also find the text service helpful. So.
Are you speaking about the tech service with 211, Chloe?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, so with the texting on here, I actually have it pulled up because we respond to these daily. But there's different questions that we may ask to kind of better gauge a situation. There's an option, like sometimes people will tell us like if they're homeless. Sometimes they don't. Um, there are questions that we can ask that's kind of built in the system for us to kind of better gauge and kind of get a deeper level whenever we do get into the system. There's also the ability for us, like, whenever we typically get a text message, the first thing that automates before like we get it assigned to us as a specialist, it'll ask things like the zip code and it'll ask for like their name and the type of assistance that they're looking for. Sometimes when texters reach out, they provide more information. Sometimes they don't, depending on the text, because every situation is different, right? We may dig deeper, depending on how much information we get. Sometimes it's pretty cut and dry, but depending on the scenario, we may try to dig a little bit deeper and offer more information. But we always try to treat the text message as if it's a call, right? Because we want to make sure that that we're responding timely. We treat every text message within 3 minutes, right? We want to be responding as quickly as we can, that we're providing resource information from our 211 database, and that we're asking the right questions. So all the information that they get from the text message is also in the database, but we have different prompts and things that we utilize to kind of carry those conversations. But definitely, as a user, always looking to kind of hear other people's experiences and kind of learn from that and see how we can improve that experience for everyone. So I appreciate you sharing, Chloe.
Yes. All right, I'll share a couple of ones that we've put together. So we've really gotten into, and we have several staff, as you guys heard in the intro, that work with immigrants and refugees. So we developed a resource a couple of years ago called jobseekermap.com, and that was just sort of the same idea, going from here to there, but it's in 7 different languages right now. 5 of those are in print and 2 of them are video based. So Karenni and Pashto, they don't read their language as well, for various reasons, usually related to just how they got by back home. So we have those in video format. So the idea is you could go in there and find out things like TRIO, WKU, SCWDB, these employment service providers we've talked about. It is only trying to solve for employment type of health. That's why it says employment support tools. So it's not trying to think of stable housing and all of that, but we do have 211 referenced in it, and so that people know, and I know language support is available through 211 as well. What other online resource guides are out there in the community in our region that you guys use or would recommend? Is that it? As far as 211 covers most of the territory here. Okay, I'll take the silence as we don't have any other ones that anybody's using. Again, a couple of years ago, we realized after making the job seeker map, a lot of our employers didn't know where to go. They're just, especially with HR changes quite a bit, and people can come from out of town and not really know the local resources. So we tried to put something together that we called the Employer Toolkit. It's available on our website, southcentralworkforce.com. There's 3 main buttons when you go on that site, and I might screen share here in a minute. I don't know how complicated it's going to be with my Zoom controls to do that. But if you click on employer, whatever that employer language is, it'll scroll down, and then you can see where to click on the Employer Toolkit, and a whole other website opens up and they can see things. But we've tried to vet the resources. We've tried to put best practices and access to some literature and research that's out there on some of the especially untapped talent, like our focus populations, people with barriers. But we're telling them about kind of the catalog of how hiring events happen, how they can find out about labor market information and find out about other kind of resources, like, again, the ones that are already on the screen. So I would encourage, if you guys want to be on that, to reach out to me if you don't see your organization listed and you think it has a spot, that you can get that added on there. Oops, I just clicked off my screen. Why are they not advancing?
One
Yes, go ahead.
resource that I use is brad.org. They have the community resources, the big guidebook. There's a PDF version.
Okay, brad.org. Has anybody else heard of that? Okay. Yeah, I don't know why I think I've got a link going or something. It wants to take me somewhere else. Okay, printed guides. Anybody know any printed guides that are out there?
gonna print some of theirs. You can usually get with them to get a few. for
Brad does,
organization.
okay.
They have the big resource guide too in print.
Do they have that? Okay, same one that they have online, they have in print. Okay, anybody else know of any printed guides?
There's this one that I found just recently, but it's BG Helps, I think .org, maybe .com. I don't have my computer near me right now, but I found it helpful for one place where all food banks are listed, places that help with utility bills, like how to sign up for LIHEAP and stuff, but also like charity kind of help paying bills things. It's comprehensive. It is in PDF form that you can print from their website.
Okay.
What website is that?
I think it's bghelps.org. Hold on. I
So
can
that's
find it
mostly
real quick.
gonna have Bowling Green or Warren County
Yes, this is
resources?
Warren County only, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, bghelps.org.
Okay, bghelps.org, thank you.
It's from the community of churches.
Okay. All right, events and activities. How do you guys go find events and activities? What's that?
I typically try to check all the extension agents, I contact them. I look at the Chamber of Commerce, all their websites in different counties. I reach out to different community partners and organizations, see what they have going on. I look at Eventbrite, those different communities. I look at different things like WKU. That's just a few.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Frank,
You said Frank?
Visions, yeah,
Frank,
Visions Listserv is where I get a lot of stuff.
Yeah, that's a good one.
What she said.
I will also say honestly, for a lot of our more rural counties, the best thing that I have found to do is just get on their what's happening in this county page. So they're like, what's happening in Butler County, what's happening in Edmonson County, because a lot of those communities are like smaller and they're not using like their websites to convey that kind of information, because the best way that they can get it out there is just to post it on that group where they already know most people in the community are. So
Chloe is definitely right. We have happenings in Morgantown, happenings in Butler County, happenings in Round Hill. So, and that keeps us on our toes. I bet Chloe's seen those as well. So
yes.
thank you for
Yeah,
sharing.
because you can't really be in those groups without being in those groups. So then you also get random on your Facebook feed, just random like mugshots, and you're like, oh, okay, I'm here for the events, but thank you.
Exactly. But thank
Why
you,
are there
Chloe, for
gunshots
sharing.
going off near my house?
I found the Butler County Chamber. They do a really great
Thank you.
newsletter thing, and it has a lot of events.
Yeah, Kim Embry's great. So if you all need to get connected with the chamber newsletter, just let me know and I can get you connected like I did for TJ. TJ's always helpful in Butler. So thanks.
Yes, I'm glad you guys are mentioning the chamber's websites, because I do think that if your organization is a part of the chamber and you are not getting their emails, then I think you can ask to be added to it. I think whoever does your admin or pays the bill for the chamber could probably get you added to it. Because there's about half of them that are very, very active, a little bit more than half. Like I get a lot every day from Cave City. I know the Metcalf one sends out a lot of things. Barron and Bowling Green try to send out certain things once a week. So yeah, the chamber ones are good. And of course, go to those things. Okay, yeah, so you guys are feeding right into my suggested thing. I was going to say, yeah, our website, so southcentralworkforce.com, we do have an events tab, and we worked really hard to kind of set this up a few years ago. It's sort of our events, to be honest. We're not trying to keep up with the what's happening stuff. That would be impossible. So you can usually know when Brittany is coming around to your town. I did have the Vision Multi-Agency Council as a resource. That's a great email. If you don't know who to plug into, you just send Josh this email address at comed.us. I don't know though if vision is just a Bowling Green thing or if it is a Brad thing. Can anybody answer that?
I know quite a few people that aren't in Warren County that are on that listserv. So I think they focus a lot on Warren County, but they also do some stuff outside of that.
Yes. So how would somebody like, Flo, if you want to take this or anybody else, I mean, if you get those emails, what are you going to get if you get that email?
You get a variety of things. So sometimes people will send requests for things that they are like needing as an organization. So you can always do that. But then there are also people will send like events, or if they've got like a big, like if there's gonna like there was a dermatology clinic a while back, and they were like, okay, there's this dermatology clinic that's happening, so they sent it out on that listserv. Sometimes people will just send out like recurring things that are like, here is what we do in case you don't know who we are. But you get those almost every day, and there's usually at least 3 or 4 different pieces from different organizations in there.
Yep, excellent. Yeah, so I'll say too, I'll just add, they cap it at 4 things, so they don't bombard you. So daily, you're only gonna get 4 things and they number them. It's nice and easy, and usually flyers are attached. It's nice and clean. They also are a group that meets once a month, most months of the year. So they usually promote when they have their meetings and remind everybody, and then they get different guest speakers. And they are not like what we're trying to do, be limited by like workforce agencies or employment services providers. They are tackling and listening to all kinds of community needs. So they are more widely represented. They have a much bigger listserv.
And Brian, I was gonna add too that I find it useful, like I know Priscilla does a great job of doing like an email blast with the upcoming events and things that are going on with Passport, and then Frank does as well. So I get a lot of information from those two. They hit my inbox. So I always look at them to see what you have going on, Priscilla, and I always look at what Frank sends. So that's helpful as well.
Yes, great. Okay, Priscilla's saying bye, right when you say her name there. Yeah, so we've already mentioned Facebook, the What's Happening groups. Those are great ones. LinkedIn is another thing. I mean, depending on the organization and who you're following, I know they put a lot of things. But I had there's a new social media app, and I didn't know if you guys had heard about this. It's called Gobato. Frank has not seen this. He should be laughing the most. You guys just teed that one up perfectly for me, right? No, it's not an app. This is the person, this is our one-stop operator, and just like the vision thing and what Josh maintains, Frank is the workforce one that we would say, like, what's frustrating is when you just get emails from all directions all the time. Who sent that thing about that thing? When it's Josh that you get it from, you can just search your inbox by his email, and same with Frank. So we do encourage people. Now, the trick is when Frank sends it, you'll see everybody's email on there. Like when he's reminding you about this event, and you may have heard about this event from the vision list, because I did ask for them to promote it, because I wanted to bring people in that may not have already been long timers or knew that we had existed, just so we could explain ourselves and what we're doing here. Meeting once a month, usually tackling topics. But if you've got something that, I mean, things happen all the time. We don't have to wait a month to hear about it. If something's coming up, like Chad's gonna have the expungement thing, he's got a flyer he's working on, he doesn't need to wait till, we meet at the beginning of March to make everybody aware. Go ahead and send that to Frank. Frank will blast that out. And so Frank, as soon as he gets things, he just kind of shares it out to the partner network. If you're not on that, or I'll put it this way, if you have a colleague that you think needs to get on that, because maybe you're getting them, let's think about the other people that need to get that email and get this information too. So.
Brian, can I add that we now finally have a SCWDB Workforce Solutions LinkedIn page? So I would encourage everybody to go follow that page on LinkedIn. That's where we will promote and post like a lot of our open enrollment classes, different things that are going on here at Workforce Solutions. So I really would encourage and would love for you to join that page and follow us and share it out.
Okay. All right, so here, the big one is always, how can someone access employment help outside of Bowling Green? So I know we only have a few moments left. If people want to keep staying past 10:30, we can keep talking. But one of the things we really wanted to highlight was, we mentioned this lady, Brittany, and a lot of you know who she is. If you don't know who she is with this adult ed program. Has she joined? I don't think I've seen that she's come on, but what the concept is, it used to be, we had these access points and we still kind of have them. And I know those of you guys that run the access points, you had to answer some questions from Frank recently, and that was really good feedback for us. But if we're talking about somebody who can't come to the Career Center, can't get to Bowling Green, how do these services get to them? And you can see here, a lot of the things that were mentioned at the very beginning of the meeting are happening. A lot of times these are hosted at either a library or a adult education center. So this is on a recurring basis that it happens at these locations, and it happens in Warren as well. But you can see here kind of just how it hits. It's like the first Tuesday or the second Tuesday, it depends. If you go to our South Central workforce.com page and go to events, these are always there. And the idea is that people from the outside could at least come there. They don't have to have already been clients of adult ed to come. It's open to the public. And so they are there to connect people. They have been trying to focus on people that come from, again, justice involved backgrounds, because a lot of transportation barriers and different things make it hard for them to get to other service providers. But if they can come to something in their county, then all these services kind of roll up into there, and there's representation. I know some of you guys are very, very active, or you are the hosts for these, and it's great. But this has been sort of, Shannon used to go around and do it. Now Brittany's going around and doing it, but she's bringing these other partners at the same time. And so it is a very good, like, I don't know where to start. You can plug in through there. We haven't had it where like all the partners show up at all of these events, because that's a big ask, number one. And number two, it's usually they're going to filter in and they're going to connect and they're going to reference and referral once somebody comes in. So they try to just make that an easy process for somebody instead of making it kind of like a smorgasbord of all these different things that could be out there and overwhelm somebody. It's like, hey, you're here, great, let's get your contact info, let's get to know you. And then they actually, these providers meet, and if they get enrolled in Brittany's program, they actually follow their progress and make sure that they're connecting to the right resources that they need to connect to. So there's a lot of behind the scenes that happens with that too. So, and I know there's several things coming in through the chat. So it's hard for me to monitor that a little bit, but that's kind of the answer to the question on what happens when they can't come to Bowling Green. So in summary, what would you guys say is working well? If we're talking about getting clients access to workforce services.
The partner referrals.
Partner referrals?
The folks knowing who to refer to, the handoff.
Mm-hmm. Trusting somebody, right? That might be another way to say it. Yeah.
Yeah, back in 2018, when I started with Career Team and went to all the 10 counties, one of my toughest things was I saw what I thought was a lot of replication of services, and that's improved a lot. Number one, I think that our communication has gotten a lot better, but also, like you all talked about before, and TJ mentioned that the needs are nuanced, and different agencies serve different people better. But I think that's why this is so important, that we all know what everybody else does. And those personal connections can't be beat.
Yeah. Right. So we got some good contacts, good connections. What's still confusing with the bowl of spaghetti? That is workforce services.
So
Or did we answer it all today?
Well,
Which was
the
not my
actual process
expectation.
for the referral to career team is what now?
The okay. Tony Palmer, are you still on? She might have had to hop off. Yeah, so the process to get somebody into career team, which is going to be the screening process that will go on with the WIOA program to see if we can pay for them. A lot of people say, how do I get somebody to CDL? That's like our most requested, it's like song of the year every year. And so Tony Palmer is who that would go to. But if you just had somebody walk into the career center, they will get them to Tony. But there is any of us can also get a referral to Tony and make that connection. But her email address is what a lot of people just use, just emailing Tony.
Do we still utilize the warm handoff?
We used to have a
Referral?
form or something
Yeah.
that we did, I have several people who don't qualify for my programming and I tell them about career team, but then sometimes they can't get to career team or, you know, all of those. And so I'm like, is there a new process that I can begin? Because I had a case manager at DCPS in Logan County email me a referral that she knows doesn't fit my program. She's like, but do you know of any programs? And I was like, well, I'm actually going to a meeting and I will find out some more things for career team. And because I think it will be a good fit for career team. And we have several participants at the Housing Authority who live with us who I think could utilize services from career team also. It's just who is the direct.
If you walk into the building, and Frank can correct me if I'm wrong here, but I think there's a process where they will go through CDO first and get Wagner Pizer registered, and then, but if they say, I want training, I'm interested in training, they'll definitely send them over to career team or send a referral for career team.
Do you have Tony's email? No, I didn't. I had another individual's email, and I've been emailing.
Okay, well, then we need to get her Tony.
Yeah.
And that referral form, is that still in use?
So yes, again,
So we'll
those
get
of
to
us
that too.
that are like TJ said, part of the furniture, there has been there's been a thing where it's like, hey, here's a form, fill it out. With COVID and all this virtual stuff and stability and staffing, to be honest, we've just kind of, you know, made things go that way. We haven't really tried to control if somebody's using a form or not. I do want feedback on this. It sounds like it might be bigger than what we can tackle today, but we are thinking about trying to have, there's a company we've heard of that can kind of make an app and a landing page where, you know, you can go and get this kind of stuff, hit a button, and now you're gonna make a referral happen. We don't have to, you know, if you didn't know who to do for an email or, you know, a website to go to, you still have to know how to get to that page, so it doesn't solve that. But if you know, like, hey, if it was like workforce southcentral.com or something like that, or even through our website, we're looking at there's a company that can offer that. And we mostly want to be able to know so we can follow like that referrals are happening, right? And give credit where credit's due on those things. So,
And
yeah.
would Tony be the individual who would, so Shannon used to come and speak to our class. Would that be Tony now who would possibly be able to do those things or?
I think Tony's she's pretty much tied to the office, but we have got, I don't know, Brian, I think Matt would allow different career advisors to come out and speak.
Yeah. Yeah, I have to just check with Matt. So we're gonna kind of tie it up, and I know everybody's got other things to go to, and we promise we'll stay till an hour, and we've already gone over that. But be thinking about what could be better or how we could better share this information. And I'll just throw Gobato up as the contact here for this new app that we're launching. But Frank, if you would email Frank your idea, so everybody hopefully has Frank's email or wrote it down a couple of slides ago, and just give, you know, sound off, give those suggestions. If you've already talked to Frank recently and are one of our access point people and have shared that, he has those answers. Obviously, we can review those and take those into consideration. But we do want to know how we can be better at this stuff. And so also want to hear what topics do you want to discuss this year? Again, we have in the past tried to feature, and I think there's some ones that probably we need to go back around and do, but service providers who focus on justice involved, service providers that focus on veterans, service providers that focus on college admissions and things like that. So we kind of let, in a panel style, different ones that serve the region talk. So if you've got ideas on that, we're all ears, because we definitely don't want it to just be us thinking this is what you guys want to hear and this is what we want to talk about. We want you guys to control the agendas and the monthly topics. So, and then we'll meet again on March 5th. If anybody would like to volunteer, says I want in, I got some stuff I want to talk about, or put me in, coach. Then we are definitely willing to have that happen as well. April's a little bit up in the air. I have to check and see if that might be spring break and the start of it. If it's not, then we'll be meeting as normal. We typically meet the first Thursday of the month. We've never really deviated from that. If we don't meet, we're canceling it for the month. So anybody have any other final thoughts or comments that still remained in the overtime session?
I think this was helpful today. Like, I've learned some things. I made some notes on some things for some of the organizations. I think, you know, I love that I want the partner meeting, or I hope the partner meeting will do a little bit more of that in the future, because I do think that's really helpful. We don't always get out and around, right?
All right, thank you, TJ. All right, thank you all. Have a great, safe rest of your Thursday, and the 60 degrees are coming.
Yay.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.